Good morning, friends. This is our next lecture. Okay. In this lecture, we will start with the congestion control topic. Okay. That after the timer management is there. Here is congestion control. When large amount of data is fed to system which is not capable of handling it, the congestion occurs. Okay. TCP control congestion by means of window mechanism. TCP sets a window size telling the other end how much data segments to send. TCP may use three algorithms for congestion control. First one is additive increase, multiplicative decrease. Clear? Second algorithm is slow start and third one is timeout react. Then timer management is there. TCP uses the different types of time to control and manage various tasks. Okay. Then keep alive timer is there. This timer is used to check the integrity and validity of a connection. Also, the when keep alive time expire, the host send a probe to check if the connection still exists. Okay. Next is retransmission timer. Retransmission timer maintains the stateful session of the data sent. If the acknowledgement of sent data does not receive within the retransmission time, the data segment is sent again. Okay, next is persist timer. TCP section can be paused by either host by sending window size 0. Uh, Persist timer resume the session. A host need to send window size with same large value. Okay. Then if this segment never reaches the other end, both ends may wait for each other for infinite time. Okay. In persistence timers, when the persistence timer expires, the host resend its window size to let the word end know. Okay. After that, persist timer help avoid deadlock in communication. After that, time wait is there. After releasing a connection, either of a host wait for a time wait to terminate a connection completely. This is in order to make sure that the other end has arrived the acknowledgement of its connection termination request. After that, timeout can be maximum of 240 seconds. Okay. Next is crash recovery. TCP is very reliable protocol. It provides sequence numbers to each of bytes sent in segment. It provides a feedback mechanism, that is when a host receives a packet, it is bound to acknowledge that packet having the next sequence number expected. If it is not, the last segment is there. When a TCP server crashes midway communication and restart its process, it sends TPDU broadcast to all its hosts. The host can then send the last data segment which was never acknowledged and carry onwards. Next is user datagram protocol. The user datagram protocol is simplest transport layer communication protocol available of TCP/IP protocol suite. Okay, it involves minimum amount of communication mechanism. UDP is said to an unreliable transport protocol, but it uses the IP service which provides best efforts delivery mechanism. Okay. In UDP, the receiver does not generate an acknowledgement of packets received in turn. The sender does not wait for any acknowledgement of packet sent. This shortcoming makes this protocol unreliable as well as easier on processing. Here is the requirement of UDP, user datagram protocol. A question may arise, why do we need an unreliable protocol to transport the data? We deployed the UDP where the acknowledgement packet shared significant amount of bandwidth along with the actual data. For example, in case of video streaming, thousands of packets may forward towards its user. Acknowledging all the packets is troublesome and may contain huge amount of bandwidth wastage. The base delivery mechanism of underlying IP protocol ensures best efforts to deliver its packets. But even if some packets in video streaming get lost, the impact is not calamitous and can be ignored easily. Loss of few packets in video and voice traffic sometimes goes under notice. Clear? Here is the different features of UDP. UDP is used when acknowledge of data does not hold any significance. Okay, then UDP is good protocol for data flowing in the one direction. After that, next is UDP is simple and suitable for query based communication. Next is UDP is not connection oriented. Next feature is UDP does not provide congestion control mechanism. UDP does not guarantee order deliver or data. UDP is stateless. Next feature is UDP is suitable protocol for streaming application. Such as VoIP multimedia streaming. Here is the UDP header is there. UDP header is as simple as its function. There is 4 subpart. 0 to 15 is the source port and length, and 16 to 31 there is destination port checksum is there. UDP header contains the 4 main parameters: source port, destination port, length and checksum. Source port is a 16-bit information is used to identify the source port of the packet. In destination port, it is also a 16-bit information. It's used to identify the application level service of destination machine. Length field specifies the entire length of UDP packets including header. It is 16-bit field and minimum value is 8 byte, that is the size of UDP header itself. checksum. Checksum field stores the checksum value generated by the sender before sending. Okay, IPv4 has this field as optional, so when checksum field does not contain any value, it is made 0 and all its bits are set to 0. Here is the UDP applications are there. Here are few applications where UDP used to transmit the data. First one is domain name service. Second one is special network management protocol. Third application is retrieval file transfer protocol. Next is routing information protocol. So then, and next is Kerberos. Next topic is network layer introduction. This is the layer 3 in OSI model, that is the network layer. Network layer manage options pertaining to host and network addressing, managing subnetworks and interworking. Okay, in network layer the takes the responsibility for routing packets from source to destination within or outside a subnet. Two different subnets may have different addressing schemes or non-compatible addressing type. Same with protocols. Two different subnets may be operating on different addressing types. Same with protocols. Two different subnets may be operating and different protocols which are not compatible with each other. Network layer has the responsibility to route the packet from source to destination, mapping different addressing scheme and protocols. Here is the different functionalities of the network layer. Device which work on different layer mainly focus on the routing. Routing may include the various tasks aimed to achieve a single goal. This can be first one is addressing device and networks, populating routing tables or static routes. Third one is queuing incoming and outgoing data and then forwarding them according to the quality of source constraints set for those packets. Next is the interworking between two different subnets, then delivering packets to destination with best efforts. After that, provide connection oriented and connectionless mechanism. These are the functionality of network layer which are mainly focused on the routing. Network layer features with its standard functionalities. Layer 3, that is network layer, can be provide various features as first is quality of service management, second is the load balancing and link management, third one is security, fourth one is interrelation of different protocols and subnet with different schema. Next is different logical networks design over a physical network design. Level 3 VPN and tunnels can be used to provide end-to-end dedicated connectivity. Clear? These are the different features by network layer. Internet protocol is widely respected and deployed network layer protocol which help to communicate end-to-end device other over the internet. Okay, it comes in into two flavors: IPv4, which can rule the world of decades and how now is running out of address space. IPv6 is there, which is created to replace IPv4 and hopefully mitigates limitations of the IPv4 too. Network addressing layer 3, that is network layer. Network addressing is one of the major tasks of network layer. Network addressing are always logical, that is there are a software based address which can be changed by appropriating configurations. Okay, the network address always points to host, node, server, or it can replace a whole network. Network addressing is always configured on network interface card and it is generally mapped by yourself. A network address point to host, node, server, or it can represent a whole network. Network with the MAC address, that is the hardware address, or layer 2 address for the machine for layer 2 communication. There are different kind of network addresses exist: IP, IPX, and Apple Talk. We are discussing IP here as it is only one we use in practice those life. Observe the diagram, this diagram. IP addressing provides a mechanism to differentiate between host and network because IP addresses are assigned in a hierarchical manner. manner. A host always resides under a specific network. The host which need to communicate with outside its subnet need to know destination network address where the packet's data is to be sent. Okay, then host in different subnet need a mechanism to relocate each other. This task can be done by DNS. DNS is a server which provides layer 3, that is network layer address of a remote host map with its domain name, or FQDN. When a host acquires a layer 3 address, IP address of the remote host is forwards all its packets to its gateway. A gateway, a route equipped with the information which tends to route packets to the destination host. Okay, then route take help of routing table which has the following information: which method to reach the network. Routers, upon receiving a forwarding request, forward packets to its the next router on the path follow the same thing, and eventually the data packets reaches its destination. Okay, the network address can be one of the following. First we use unicast, multicast, broadcast and anycast. In unicast there is and distinct di- distinct to one host, multicast is distinct to group, broadcast is distinct to all, and anycast distinct to nearest one. Okay, a route never forwards broadcast traffic by default. Multicast traffic uses special treatment as it most video stream or audio with the highest priority. Anycast is just a unit except that the provides the delivered to the nearest destination where multiple destinations are suitable or available. Here is the network layer routing. When a device has multiple paths to reach a destination, it always selects one path by preferring it over others. This selection process is termed as routing. Routing is done by a special network. A router is always configured with same default route. Default route tells the router where to forward packet if there is no route found for specific destination. In case there are multiple paths existing to reach the same destination, router can make decision based on the information. First one is hop count, bandwidth, metrics, prefix length, debate. Route can be statistically configured. By dynamically learn, one route can be configured to the prefer over others. In unicast routing, most of the traffic on the internet and internets known as a unicast data or unicast traffic is sent with specified destination routing unicast data over the internet, which is called the unicast routing. It is the simplest form of routing because the destination is already known. Hence, the router just has to look up the routing table and forward the packets to next host. Broadcast routing is there. By default, the broadcast packets are not routed and forwarded by the routers on any network. Routers create broadcast domain, but it can be configured to forward broadcast in some special cases. A broadcast message is designed to all network devices. Broadcast routing. By default, the broadcast packets are not routed and forwarded by the routers on any network. Routers create broadcast domain, but it can be configured forward broadcast in a simple cases. A broadcast message is destination all networks. Broadcast routing done by any two can be done in two ways algorithms. First one is a router create a data packets and then send it to each host one by one. In this case, the all the packets are in this case the router creates multiple copies of single data packets with different destination addresses. Okay, all packets are sent to unicast, but because they are sent to all, it simulates as it if further is broadcasting. This method consumes lot of bandwidth and router must designation address of each node. Next method is secondly, when receives a signal, route receives a packet, it is to be broadcasted. It simply flows, flows, flows those packets and are of on infectious or over configuration on the same day. This is the diagram for the broadcast. This method is easy on routers CPU but may cause the problem of duplicate packets received from peer routers. Reverse path forwarding is a technique in which routers know in advance about its predecessors from where it should receive broadcast. This technique is used to delete and discard documents. Reserve path for forwarding is a technique in which router known in advance about its procedures from where it should receive broadcast. This technique is used to detect and discard duplicates. Clear? Next is multicast routing. Multicast routing is a special case of broadcast routing with significant difference challenge. Multicast routing is a special case of broadcast routing with significant different and challenges. In broadcast routing, the packets are sent to all nodes even if they do not wait, but in multicast routing the data is sent only nodes which want to receive the packets. Okay. Here the router must know that there are nodes which wish to receive multicast packets on stream. They only it should forward multicast routing words spanning tree protocol to avoid the looping. Multicast routing also uses the reserve path forwarding technique to detect and discard duplicates and loops. And here is the anycast routing. Anycast packet forwarding is a mechanism where multiple hosts can have same logical address. When a packet is designed to this logical address, it is sent to the host which is nearest in routing topology. Here is diagram. Anycast routing is done with the help of DNS server. Whenever any cast packets is received, it is required inquired with DNS to where to send it. DNS provides the IP address, which is the which is the nearest IP configured on it. Here is the Unicast routing protocol. There are two kinds of routing protocol available on route Unicast packets. First one is distance vector routing protocol and second one is link state routing protocol. In distinct vector routing protocol, discover distance vector is a simple routing protocol which takes routing destination decision on the number of hops between source and destination. Source with the less number of hops is considered as the host build up their network topology on the advertisement of their peer routes. For example, routing information protocol. Link state routing protocol. Link state protocol is slightly complicated protocol than distance vector. It takes into account the states of link of all the routers in a network. This technique helps route build a common graph of the entire network. All routers then calculate their best path for the routing purpose. For example, open shortest path first and intermediate system to intermediate system. Multiclass routing protocol. Unicast routing protocol use graphs while multiclass routing protocol use the tree, that is spanning tree, to avoid the loop. The optimal tree is called shortest path streaming tree. Right? DVMRP means distance vector multiclass routing protocol. MOSPF म्हणजे macro multicast open shortest path first. And CBT means core based tree. PIM means protocol independent multicast. Protocol and independent multicast is very same now. PIM dense. This mode uses the source based tree. It is used in dense environments such as LAN. LAN means local area network, and PIM sparse mode. This mode uses three trees. It is used in space environment which is a WAN, wide area network. Routing algorithms. The routing algorithms are as follows. Flooding. Flooding is simplest method of packets forwarding. Packets. When a packet is received, the routes send it to flooding to all interference except the one on which was received. This creates too much burden on the network and lots of duplicate packets wandering in the network. Time to live tutorial can be used to avoid infinite looping of packets. This exists the another appropriate approach for flooring, which is called service flooding, creates too much which is called selective flooding to reduce the overhead on the network. This is the method of router does not need does not allow out all the interferences but selective ones. Shortest path routing decision is network are mostly take on the basis of two between source and destination. Hop count plays major role here. Shortest path is a technique which is used various algorithms to decide a path which minimum number of paths. Common shortest path algorithms are Dijkstra's algorithm, Bellman-Ford algorithm, and Floyd-Warshall algorithm. Here is the interworking of in computer network. In real world scenario, network under same administrations are generally scattered graphically. There may kept requirement of connecting two different networks of same kind as well as of different kinds. Routing between two networks is called interworking. Network can be considered between two or various parameters such as protocol, topology, layer 2 network and addressing scheme. In interworking routing, touch can knowledge of each other's address and address beyond them. They can be statistically configured to on different network or they can learn using the internet working routing protocol. In internet networking routing can knowledge of each other's address and addresses beyond them. They can statistically configured go on different network on or they can learn using the interleaving routing protocol. This is the diagram. Observe the diagram. Routing protocol which are used within an organization or administration are called interior gateway protocols or IGP, RIP, OSPF are example of IGP. Routing between different or organizations or administrations may have exterior gateway protocol and there is only one EGP, okay, that is EGP, that is border gateway protocol. Tunneling is there if there are two graphically separate networks which want to communicate with each other. They may deploy a dedicated line between or They have to pass their data through intermediate networks. Tunneling is a mechanism by which two or more same networks communicate with each other by passing immediate network complexities. Tunneling is configured for both ends. Network cloud is there, tunneling virtual direct link is there, right? When the data enters from the end of tunnel, it is tagged with the tag data. It is route, routed inside the intermediate or transmit transactions to reach the intermediate of tunnel, which can expect the tunnel. Its tag is removed and delivered to the other part of the network. Both ends seem as if they are directly connected, and tagging makes data travel through transit network without any modification. Packet fragmentation is there. Most Ethernet segments have their maximum transmission unit MTU fixed to 1500 bytes. A data packets can have more or less packet length depending upon the application. Device in the deep transmit path also have their hardware and software complexities, which tell what amount of data that device can handle and what size of packets it can process. Okay, if the data packet size is less than or equals to the size of packet the transit network can handle, it process naturally. We will stop here and next lecture we will start with the packets fragment. It is time out for today's lecture. Okay.